Welcome to Coffee with the County, the only podcast in Hernando County where you learn about coffee and all the local happenings in your community. Let's plug in and get connected with your local government. Hi everyone, I'm Dominique Holmes. I'm the Public Information Officer for Hernando County Government. Today our guest with us is Mr. David DeCarlo. He is Hernando County's Director of Emergency Management. Welcome, Dave.
Well, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, good. So every podcast we always start off with talking about our coffee mugs or coffee cups. So
Okay.
what do you have with us today?
I have my Hernando County Fire Rescue coffee mug. It's dear to me because my past career, I was a law enforcement officer for 33 years.
Wow.
Retired from the Citrus County Sheriff's Office. I was in law enforcement basically my whole adult life. And now since coming here, emergency management is under fire rescue. So now I got to support the thin red line.
Yes, I see.
But also the thin blue line, but thin red line for sure. So yes, I like that mug. So.
And in Citrus County, so it does fall under the Sheriff's Office for Emergency Management.
Emergency management in Citrus County falls under the Office of the Sheriff, yes.
Yes, and then in Hernando County, it's underneath Hernando County Fire Rescue.
Yes, which under the Board of County Commissioners, yes.
Yes,
So it's,
correct.
yes.
Yeah.
My direct report is Chief Hasselmeyer.
Yes, who we've interviewed on the show.
Yeah.
So there we go. And then my mug, which we were actually joking about this before it started. You did not know
I have
who
no
this
idea.
was.
I have no clue
If
what
you-
this mug is.
So this is a mug from The Nightmare Before Christmas, a movie, and this is Zero the dog. And he's just so cute. He has a little pumpkin nose. So it's one of my favorite cups.
Never seen the movie,
You're like, what is this?
and that mug definitely does not make me want to see that movie. So, but I'm glad you like it.
I do.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, too funny. Okay, so a coffee fact. Did you know Americans aged 60 or older drink the most coffee?
What age?
60 or older. 60 or older.
I
So-
did not know that.
Yes, which I would think like at some point, if I'm going to retire, I'm going to want to sleep in and probably not drink coffee, but I can't stop drinking coffee. So it says the most devoted demographic of coffee drinkers in the U.S. are those aged 60 or older. So around 72% of Americans who are 60 or older drink coffee every single day. So on the other hand, only about 47 of those who are between 18 and 24 years old drink coffee regularly, making it the least coffee-crazed demographic in the country. So the younger generation does not drink coffee as much as the older generation.
So the lines at Starbucks and Dunkin' is 60 and older?
Apparently so.
Okay, all right. It's good to know.
I know I go through the Dunkin' drive-thru almost every single day. So
Do you prefer Dunkin' or Starbucks?
it's Dunkin'. I run on Dunkin'.
I'm just asking. Just asking.
Starbucks is good too,
Okay.
but I love a good Dunkin'
All right.
coffee. It's
Good.
my go-to. Yes. What about you?
I don't drink coffee, actually.
Really?
No, I don't drink coffee.
Your handy-dandy cup is
My
full of
cup
water.
is full of water, yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
full of water or sweet tea.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
there's tea drinkers too.
There are tea
So
drinkers.
I've had a couple guests that like some
Yeah,
tea, so
yeah.
I hear you. Well, let's talk about emergency management.
Let's talk about emergency management.
So what is emergency management?
Emergency management is the preparation and for any type of disaster, natural or man-made. It could be a hurricane, as most people kind of correlate emergency management to. It could be a tornado. It could be a wildfire. It could be an industrial accident. It could be an airplane crash. It could be anything that causes any type of emergency response from first responders.
Exactly. And I keep referencing, I feel like all hazards.
It is. It's an all hazards approach. We go through the planning, the response, the recovery, and the mitigation. Those are the 4 phases of emergency management. So we work through that cycle continuously, during blue sky days. I know we're going to talk about that, blue skies and gray skies. Blue skies is, in the part of the season that we're in right now. So we're reviewing plans, making updates. We're making updates to our local mitigation strategy plan. We're making updates to our comprehensive emergency management plan. We're doing a study with a joint study with the Department of Environmental Protection on the vulnerability of the county, what are the different hazards that the county is vulnerable to, and then we're also doing a post-disaster reconstructive study as well.
Nice.
So how soon we can recover and what's our resiliency after a disaster. So a lot of things happen. In
Yeah,
the off
that's
season.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing, is that people might only think of emergency management during the disaster, right?
No,
And
right, yeah.
It's all year
It's
round.
all
It
year
doesn't
long.
stop.
It does not stop. No,
No.
it is absolutely all year round. And so in the off years, in the off season, we do our plans and updates, and then we also do our presentations and remind people to be prepared for any type of disaster.
And we keep referencing off season. So when is hurricane season?
So hurricane season is June 1st through November 30th.
Which we're in the spring now, but that comes up real quick.
June is going to come up very quickly. So we'll be doing our community outreach. We've done a number of them in the off season last year as well. So if you have any like Kiwanis Club, Rotary Club, or any type of homeowners association, Crime Watch, we'll come and we'll do a presentation for you to help your homeowners association be more prepared and know what to put in their go bag if they have to evacuate.
Exactly. And speaking of go bag, what is a go bag?
A go bag is just that. It's if you have to evacuate your home and you need to leave, you can just grab a bag and take off.
And go.
And go.
Grab and go.
and go. So it's important to have those or that prepared like now. So if a storm's coming off the coast of Africa and it starts heading east and it's going to hit Florida, that's not the time. You should have it prepared now. So you should know what your insurance papers are. You should have a homeowner's checkup. Make sure your homeowner's insurance is good.
Yeah.
Start trimming trees now, in the off season.
Smart,
So the limbs and all that stuff. If you can install hurricane-proof windows, impact windows, you can do that now in the off season. We try to tell people to be prepared. The time to go to Walmart or the big box stores to go grab your supplies is not when the storm is in the Gulf of Mexico or off the coast of Cuba. You should do that now. Like every time you go to the grocery store, just pick up a case of water, pick up some extra canned goods, non-perishable foods. If you do that a little bit at a time, that when it does happen and emergency does exist, you have all those supplies already ready, and there's not that anxiety.
Exactly.
And then you try to go to the grocery store or the box
Fight the
stores,
crowds.
and there's nothing there. There's no more. There's no more water. There's no more toilet paper. There's no more flushable wipes. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you do that stuff now, buy a little bit of time, store it. And if you don't need it, if you don't have to use it, then you can either use it in the off season or you can donate it to a local charity, a food bank.
Oh, that's amazing. Great idea.
So it's a win-win.
Exactly. Some other things that people don't think about sometimes for their go kit would be something like cash.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So we tell people during our preparedness exercises or presentations to be prepared to be without power for 7 to 10 days. If Hurricane Irma taught us anything, it's long-term power outages. It can happen. So the size of the storm, the strength, the wind field, all that will play a part in how much power we get lost.
Yeah.
It could take days. It could take weeks for crews to get in here, clear the roads, render it safe, and then start putting up new power lines. So at that time, without power, there's no commerce. There's nothing. So if you need to buy, stuff, you'll have the cash at hand. So it's important to have cash. How much cash? That's going to be up to the individual.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever you have, however many people you have in your household, multiply it by whatever and come up with a number that's comfortable for you.
And not only cash, something else to think about is if you have young children, diapers.
Diapers, right. Keep all that stuff, baby food, diapers. Again, we talked about wipes.
Yeah.
Have a go kit for not only your children, but if you take care of your elderly parents. If we do need to open up a shelter, we'll have a special needs shelter open as well. That's run by the Department of Health. If you need to register or be part of our special needs registry, you can go to our website. HernandoCounty.us/EM.
EM, yep.
/EM. There's a special needs registry form that you can click on. Click on that link and you can register for our special needs. So if you're oxygen dependent, if you're electric dependent, if you have any other medical or mobility needs, you would probably qualify through, to be part of the special needs shelter. Now again, I want to preface this that the shelter is the last resort. If you have somewhere that you can go, a family member, family, friend, that you can go and just get out of the way of the storm, of the potential impacts, if you can do that, please do so. A shelter is not a fun place. It is not comfortable. You will be uncomfortable for 24 to 48, maybe 36 hours, but you will be safe. But we tell people that.
Well, it's the importance of that. I think this past activation, it was during Hurricane Idalia, we were able
Yes.
to go out and get a little video of one of the shelters to kind of give people an idea and feel for it. And one of the shelters was at a school, so they had availability for if it was the weather wasn't too bad, a little basketball court and they try to make it as comfortable as possible. But again, at the end of the day, if you have friends or family, if you need to evacuate, if emergency management, speaking of which we'll touch base on this, with the messaging to the public, if something's coming from the Office of Emergency Management in regards to, evacuations and sheltering and all that stuff, take it seriously. I mean, we're saying it for a reason,
Yeah,
right?
during Hurricane Idalia, we were going to get storm surge.
Yep.
And it was predicted between 6 and 7 feet. Sometimes it was between 6 and 9 feet of storm surge. So it all depends on where the storm is at that particular time. But we get our information from the National Weather Service out of the Tampa Bay Ruskin office. We communicate daily, several times a day, with the National Hurricane Center and the Florida Department of Emergency Management up in Tallahassee. And then we have backup calls with the local National Weather Service out of Tampa. And that gives us more localized forecasts of what we could expect on the Nature Coast and the Adventure Coast. So it'll be from Manatee County all the way north up to Citrus, maybe Levy County. So we can get that specific forecast from the Tampa Bay office. So we can relay that message. What can we expect between the size, the strength, the wind, where landfall is going to be made is going to be a huge factor on whether our West Coast is going to get flooded or not.
Yeah.
So hurricanes go counterclockwise. So if it hits south of us, it's going to push that water out. If it hits north of us, as it comes around, it's going to push that water in. So,
Interesting.
So the best scenario for Hernando County would be landfall south of us. If we get a direct hit or north of us, then we can experience some major flooding. As a major catastrophe, as you did, as Fort Myers found out a couple years ago with Hurricane Ian.
Yeah, and I think what's people might not understand is how powerful water is, storm surge is.
Water is a powerful tool.
It is so strong. And think about storm surge when we say 6 to 9 feet. I'm not even 6 feet tall. That's taller than me.
It's above ground level. Yes, it's above ground level. So you have different marine tides. If you do live on the coast, I urge you to learn how to find your tide tables, and you can go to NOAA, National Organization of Atmospheric Oceanography.
It's
NOAA,
very long title.
Yeah, very long title.
NOAA.
NOAA. Go to NOAA, and you can go to Bayport or Hernando Beach in the search, or just do a search for Hernando Beach tide tables, and you bring it up. You should know what the tide tables are. High tide, if it's going to be 6 to 9 feet above ground level, they've already included high tide in that. High tide's usually around 3 feet. 3 and 4 feet, so it's just an extra 5, sometimes 5 feet above that, and it's going to flood homes, and we know that. And we want, if we order an evacuation, I take that very seriously. So I understand what's involved in having to evacuate your house and having to get all your essential items and your important papers and things that are near and dear to you and pack up and leave. My biggest thing is protect life. No ifs, ands, buts about it. If we order an evacuation, it's for life safety. And that's paramount. And if you don't get flooded, then that's fine.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, and I hope the weather, it doesn't flood. But sometimes it's going to happen. I don't want anybody to lose their life.
Exactly.
It's not worth it. So.
Yeah. What you guys do is very important. So we're thankful for having you guys as our first responders in the community.
Yeah.
So speaking of hurricane season, I know we talk about being prepared is so important. You guys are actually doing a hurricane and safety expo?
Yep, we do our annual Hurricane Safety Expo. It's going to be at Challenger K-8 school again. We had it last year. We had about over 700 people attend that last year. Yeah, it's a great time. Learn all about preparedness. We have several county vendors that'll help you get prepared for hurricane season. We invite them in. The school district is more than accommodating to let us use that facility. We're very appreciative of that. We bring in a lot of different things for the kids, different fire rescue apparatuses and touch-a-truck, so you can get on, touch the fire truck, and then climb all over the fire truck. Forestry will bring their dozers in. We had the helicopter.
Yes,
MedFleet came and the transport helicopter came and landed, but they had a call, so they had to take off, right? But we have drawings and stuff, and last year we were very lucky to have a meteorological panel from our local meteorologist come in, and we were able to have a Q&A
That was cool. Yeah.
It was very well attended. Very well attended.
There's even
So
food trucks, like the kid zone,
we had,
all that
yeah,
stuff.
we had a lot of stuff. Yeah, food
Yeah.
truck, kid zones. So again, that'll be the first part of June, and again, we'll be putting out more information on that on our website and our Facebook page. You can follow emergency management on the Hernando County Fire Rescue Facebook page. So please, if you don't follow us now.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Follow
yes,
us now.
because we have
Cool.
great information. Because this week is Severe Weather Awareness Week.
It is.
It is.
And putting out information is just so important, and getting the messaging out to the public, and just being consistent and letting the public know, across the board, all of the different entities and constitutionals come together to help push that message out, and that's coming from the Hernando County Fire Rescue social media. It's Facebook page specifically, and there's Instagram and Twitter, which is now X, and all of that, and the county shares it on our multiple platforms as well.
And also, and as we did last year, we did a number of live feeds on
Yep.
Facebook Live, and we did YouTube.
We did press conferences. Yep.
We did
all
press
live.
conferences. We did a number of different live events from different networks and different media outlets.
Yeah.
The Weather Channel
We had,
was
that was
in-
really
pretty
cool.
That
You got
was pretty
interviewed
cool.
by, was it Jim?
Jim Cantori.
I know.
I know,
That was so
pretty.
awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to Jim Cantori. Thank you very much. But it's important to get that message out so people are informed. And,
Exactly.
Again, life safety is paramount.
Yes.
Not only for the citizens, but for the first responders. Because there will be a point in time during the storm that we'll have to shut everything down. The winds are going to be too strong. The rain's going to be too strong. Power's going to be out. Floodwaters, we have to wait to recede. So safety is number one. And we're not going to risk the life of a first responder by no means to assist you. Hope that doesn't sound too bad. But there's going to be certain times that we're going to cut it off. And we have to wait.
Well, even this past year, Hernando County Fire Rescue went out to help a family that was stranded with their airboat.
Yes, they tried to evacuate. She waited a little too long. Got stuck on top of the bridge at a certain point in the Hernando Beach area, and fire rescue had to take the airboat
Yes.
out there and rescue them.
Which is a successful mission.
It was successful. Mark's off, and Zappa, I believe, was out
Yep.
there. Did a phenomenal job rescuing them.
Exactly.
So and they were safe, thank God.
Yeah.
So
we appreciate our first responders. They
yes,
do what they can.
Yes, they do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was windy and it was flooded, and they went out there and they risked their own lives to save others, and that's what first responders do. So
Exactly.
shout out to them.
Yes, for sure. And one other thing I wanted to touch base on, which I think is so much fun. You guys do this every year. This is your third annual. Let's talk about Hurricane.
Hurricane, yes, H-E-R. Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Yes. It's awesome. It's an awesome program. It was my first experience last year when I came here. It's a camp for young women, 13 to 18 years old in school. It's to teach them about emergency management and the different aspects and the different disciplines within emergency management. To think about that as a career field when they grow up. Just
amazing.
to give them some ideas about response, mitigation, recovery. The planning process, the response process. We have a number of different people throughout our first responders, and not only fire rescue, but the sheriff's office, our PIOs, fire prevention comes. They did the drone demonstration. We have a number of different activities. We brought in a teacher to teach them about programming robots.
Oh,
last
wow,
year.
that's
yeah,
cool.
it was awesome. Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, so they were able to program robots, to learn coding.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity to learn about emergency management and the different fields within emergency management, the different disciplines within emergency management, because it's so vast. And we just want to expose the young women to that opportunity is out there for them.
Exactly. And I make a special little sneak peek appearance with that as well every
You
year.
do. Yes.
Because my role, which I don't know if the public is aware of, whenever we do get activated, because I'm the public information officer for Hernando County Government, but when we get activated, I help put the messaging out to the public. And for emergency management, we have a team of people that come together that work on messaging for the public, and we help schedule the media interviews and get the word out and all that. I work really closely with you at that time.
Yes.
So for any young girls when I'm out there, to let them know, like, if you wanted to pursue a career also in public information, how that ties in with
Absolutely.
emergency management.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things, I have not yet been a guest judge on, but I've heard it's so much fun because it's a week-long camp of all this fun stuff. It's very educational, but they do have fun. Those girls
We
know
have
how
a
to
great
fun.
time. Yes, we have a great time. We do have a cooking competition.
Yes, tell us about this.
It's a competition using nothing but non-perishable food. So there's no oven, there's no power. So they have to come up and create their own recipes and their own dishes to serve. And we have judges, and please accept this as an invitation to be one of our guest judges
Finally!
for our Hurricane Camp this year. Hurricane Camp is going to be in July, so more information will be coming out on that for applications. But again, we try to take about 20, 25 young women at school age, 13 to 18, and we have a great time. They learn a lot, and we have a lot of good time. It's about team building, it's about relationships, it's about interacting and getting used to first responders.
And the past couple of years, it was we were able to receive a grant to help fund the program, right?
Yes. Obviously, every program costs money. We were very fortunate. We applied for the Duke Energy Foundation grant, and we were awarded that grant, and we used those funds to buy supplies to put this camp on. We'll be again applying for the same grant and see if we get accepted again. But if a local vendor or anything wants to donate to this cause, the Hurricane Camp, please give us a shout out to Emergency Management. You can give us a call at 352-754-4083.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Not a problem.
And then one last thing to wrap up today. If someone wanted to subscribe and get alerts or get, just readily available information about hurricanes and preparedness and all of that, where do they go? What do they do?
They can go to our website, obviously, our hernandocounty.us/EM, or you can sign up for Alert Hernando. That's alerthernando.org, alerthernando.org. And you can get text messages, emails, phone calls from any weather updates that will occur within your area. So it's geofenced, so you won't get things from out of your area. I understand things can happen, and maybe misinformation there on the input, the data input, but we'll get that straight. But it's a great tool to keep yourselves informed of anything that happens in the county.
Yeah, I think recently there was the last time a little storm came through. I got a tornado warning alert right to my phone.
Yes.
Got a text message. I don't remember what time it was, but I got a text message, and I knew, with my family, okay, this is in the area, and if we need to take cover, all those things. So it's really important to subscribe to get those notifications.
Right. And it's important, and I know a lot of people will, that alert going out very early in the morning. A lot of disasters, tornadoes occur in the middle of the night.
It just happens.
It happens the way Mother Nature is. Please don't turn that off. Those alerts are important. I understand it's an inconvenience. You may be up for the rest of the night, but at least it's safe. It works. If you got woken up during that, it works.
Exactly.
But it's important. We want to keep everybody as safe as possible.
I agree. Well, thank you, Mr. DeCarlo. I always like to
Thank you, Ms. Holmes.
always like to wrap up these podcasts with some punny coffee puns. So
hit me. Let's hear it.
You mocha me happy. And another one, perk up, rise and grind. And this was not a roast, so I hope you had a great time.
I did have a great time.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you for having me
on the show.
Appreciate it.